13 games in, and Urban Meyer has been fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the latest kind of last thing that pushed everything over the top, apparently, when Urban Meyer was kicking or assaulted, the word being used, assaulted his kicker. Prior to this, he also was, knocking his staff, throwing his staff under the bus. He also had, incidents after a brutal loss at a chop house back home, a video that went viral. So there are many things that kind of led up to this point. When they do a 30 for 30 on Urban Meyer, that error in Jacksonville, it's almost like a textbook. If you ever want to get fired from a job, this is what you do. Do what Urban Meyer did to get fired from a job. When he stayed behind in Ohio after that loss in that fourth game to just golf and party, when other NFL head coaches week in and week out are going on little sleep just to come up with a game plan, that goofing off kind of said it all. You're in season, and you're trying to turn this Jacksonville Jaguar team around that's been horrible. You don't have time for this type of goofing off. Wait until this season is over, which will, since you're Jacksonville, will end after game 17. Hard to believe that one head coach in such a short time could create so many problems. Don't know really, honestly, how good Trevor Lawrence will be. But hopefully he gets better coaching, a better offensive line, and some receivers to throw to. This story kind of, from way back when, reminded me of the Steve Spurrier story. When he became that coach of the Redskins, people were talking about how many coaches, especially Joe Gibbs, would sleep in the office while working on the next week's game plan. Spurrier made a comment like they were slow and no need to spend that much time doing anything. He was going to change the coaching world. Now, Spurrier and Meyer have more in common than just being coach at Florida. Urban is a perfect proof of what I have heard being said about NFL versus college football. College football is for developing boys into athletes. NFL is for upgrading great athletes into even better athletes. Not every player can handle the transition from college to the NFL, and not every coach can handle the shift in coaching styles that the NFL requires. And I think that was quite apparent with him removing his best player after just one fumble. You can do that in college and no one bats an eye, since the kid has to learn. But when you do that in the pros, all that it does is it degrades the player. Especially since last year James Robinson was a top 10 running back. Goodbye, Urban Meyer.